Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and this is my Raw review? Somewhat? Kinda? Maybe? Well, this is supposed to be your WWE Monday Night Raw review for October 28, 2020, for the go-home show to Crown Jewel this weekend. Anyone else just kind of ready to be done with Crown Jewel? It always feels like anytime the WWE is building to any of these Saudi Arabia shows, whether it's King and Queen of the Ring, Crown Jewel, whatever you call it, it puts a stop. It halts all natural storytelling for the WWE, and these shows start to feel like filler. Now, is that always the case? No, I feel like there were some episodes of Raw, especially last week, that were fine, despite the fact that we're building to Crown Jewel. SmackDown has been great. They were doing fine. They are doing fine with SmackDown. So I don't understand why Raw this past month, for the majority of October, has not been all that great. They only had one excellent episode, and that was last week's episode when Jey Uso lost the IC title back to Bron Breakker. But the return to 2 hours wasn't great, but you let that go because they were trying to readjust back to 2 hours. The very next week wasn't that great, but that was taped, so you let that one go too. I thought they had it in the bag after last week. And then we got this episode to where I go, I mean, look here. I thought they did a lot of great things on tonight's episode. I especially enjoyed everything they did with the Bloodline, including Sami Zayn talking to Solo Sikoa's Bloodline, which caught me off guard, but I absolutely love that. And we'll talk about that in a second. But for the most part, nothing happened. It was just continuing the storylines of feuds they already had ready to go. Not saying what we got was bad. I love the brawl between Seth and Bronson Reed. That was great. I still like that we're continuing the dissension between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. The many storylines that you see played throughout the show. Even the stuff with the Wyatts and Miz and the Final Testament. Stories are still in lock. Everybody is where they should be, but we're in filler mode right now. We're just trying to pass the time. We're extending everything out, long period, until we get past Crown Jewel. Which is okay, I guess, but it gives Crown Jewel the feeling of, man, let's just get past this. Let's get past this and get us to Survivor Series, which is not how I should be feeling. Because you look at Crown Jewel, as a show, the card as it stands right now, is stacked beyond hell. You got Seth and Reed, you got Kevin and Orton, of course Cody and Gunther, and Liv and Nia, and then one other match. What was the other match? They have 5 matches usually. There was one other match they were going to do, I forgot what it was. Oh, the triple threat for the United States Championship, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade. That's a stacked card. I honestly think when it's all said and done, that could end up being a pretty good show. It's just, the build-up makes it feel like we're just spinning our wheels until we get past Crown Jewel. Then when we get to Survivor Series, or on the road to Survivor Series, we'll ramp things back up. And that's how I feel right now, especially when you look at Judgment Day. This stuff with Rhea Ripley, of course, Damian Priest, and Judgment Day, everybody in the crew, including Raquel Rodriguez. This storyline feels like they're spinning their wheels. They really haven't done much since Dom got with Liv. Basically, since Dom got with Liv and Finn Balor betrayed Damian Priest. This storyline has been the same thing. Rinse and repeat. Damian and Rhea attack Judgment Day. Judgment Day attack Damian and Rhea. And it's losing steam. I'm at the point now where, okay, if we don't have another direction to go in with this storyline, which tends to happen, Let's put an end to it. Let's have Rhea beat Liv, get her championship back, and then start the breakup between Liv and Dom. Go somewhere with that. Damian can end his feud with Finn Balor, and then they could go on to do other things. But I think that's the problem. Currently, this is the only thing keeping Damian and Rhea on TV. Once you finish this storyline with Judgment Day, where do you go? What do they do? That's not my problem. That's a problem Triple H and company will have to figure out. But I will say this. Despite them maybe not having much for them to do, what they're doing right now is starting to lose steam. It's starting to really grind my gears in terms of how it's overstaying its welcome. Because that's the feeling I'm getting. It's starting to overstay its welcome. So I would rather them wrap it up and then figure out as things go. Because I'm not interested. I'm clearly not all that invested in the direction of Judgment Day. I'm just ready for the group to either do something different or just split up. I really am. And I love everybody in the group. I love Dom. I love Liv, Finn, JD, of course, Carlito, and then, of course, the newest Addy, the newest member, Raquel Rodriguez. It's fine. But it's stale. It's stale now. So let's see what happens. Maybe they'll do something after Crown Jewel to wake me back up and get me back invested in the story. But until then, am I just going to see Damian Priest beat up Judgment Day every single week? Even Dom beating Damian didn't do much for me. Okay, Dom beat Damian. What, you're going to send Dom after Gunther? Not against that. Personally, if you did that, I might consider Dom beating him. But no, he's not. He's not. He's going to get destroyed, which is fine. I don't know. You can do other things with it. Someone just said, what about the Wyatt 6 versus Judgment Day? Honestly, that sounds great. Why not? We can do that after they're done with, after the Wyatts are done with Final Testament. But yeah, that would be a great direction to go in. But what do you do with Rhea in the meantime? Who does Rhea fight? That's a question I have in my head. I don't really see anybody currently on the Raw roster that really matches up to where Rhea is, other than Liv Morgan. So that's going to be a problem they have to rectify, they have to fix. Maybe they have to call someone up, maybe they have to move some people over. You can always do Bianca and Rhea, because Bianca is on both shows, because she's a tag team champ. She's a women's tag team champ, and they can travel between Raw and SmackDown. I don't know. I would think you would want to do Bianca and Jade first. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. But you see what I mean, right? There isn't much to go on here in terms of noteworthy stories outside of the Bloodline, which is great. And yeah, I don't really recall anything else outside of the Bloodline storyline, and then Seth and Bronson Reed. That's it. Gunther's not going to do anything until he gets past Cody, so that puts that on ice. Bronson Reed and Seth is fine, but Bron Breakker isn't doing much, so the IC title picture is put on ice until we get past Crown Jewel. The tag team titles, again, that's Judgment Day. That's put on ice until we get past Crown Jewel. There isn't much happening, and it probably won't start happening anytime soon, but hopefully things will start picking up as we get closer to Raw on Netflix and we see the corner turn for that. But we're not going to act like that there aren't any good things happening here. I want to be fair, because I am enjoying the stories they have. I just wonder how much better the show would be if Crown Jewel wasn't a factor. You get me? Anyways, look, I don't want to keep you here too long. Let's go ahead and just get to the review. Maybe I'll have a lot more to say about the show as I get into the segments. But if I'm being honest with you, this is going to be a pretty straightforward discussion on how I felt about Raw. The only thing I'm going to spend most time talking about is the Bloodline. That's it. I might mention a couple of things revolving around Judgment Day and even Seth and Bronson Reed. But a majority of this review, I'm just letting you know right now, it's going to be focused on Jimmy, Jey, Sami. Now, if you're someone that's sick of the Bloodline storyline, which, hey, it's been going on since 2020, but it's still the best piece of storytelling they got going on at this moment. Unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately. What are we going to do? I'm going to just talk about what's hot. But let's see. Let's see how I'm feeling about the show after I talk about it segment by segment. So thank you guys for being here. I want to thank you for making me a part of your day. We have a lot of people who are reviewing Raw, discussing what we saw tonight. But I appreciate you for choosing me. And if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it. Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on Cameo, give me a follow on Threads, follow us on Discord, and give me a follow on TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi. And get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an I'm a Just Alyx guy t-shirt. Hot off the press. Also get you an old school Gillespie t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt. And many, many, many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So join the cause and expand the brand today, right here in Alyx's World. Once again, I want to thank the lovely people over at Mint Mobile Country for being the partners of this particular broadcast. These people are here to offer you some sweet, sweet deals on mobile plans. Think about how much money you pay for your mobile phone right now. That same phone you're watching me on. Some of you. I bet you pay an arm and a leg. Somewhere in the hundreds, right? Imagine having that same plan, same quality, 5G network, unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data. That same plan for $15 a month. Imagine how much money you'll be saving for the same quality. Now, if that's something you're interested in, then let's get a quick word from our partners before we get to some shoutouts. This video is partnered by Mint Mobile. Like many of you, I've been trying to cut back on expenses lately, but let's be real. It's tough when you got things to do and you don't want to give them up. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices to pay your phone bill and satisfy the big tech companies. That was until I discovered Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless services starting as low as $15 a month. With Mint Mobile, you can get high-speed data plus unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. The best part? You get to keep your phone and even the phone number. Now, if you do want to purchase your own phone, they do have phones available on the website, which you can get through the link. The internet service is reliably fast. It's so seamless, I put it up there with any other network on the market. Now, some of you might think switching to a new service is a hassle. Let me reassure you, this is only going to take you 15 minutes to set up. You could literally do it right now from your phone, no need to leave your house or contact anybody. And if your device does not support eSIM, then Mint Mobile will personally ship you a physical SIM card. So if you're like me and you want to save a little bit of money without sacrificing anything, use the link trymintmobile.com/justalyx and start your wireless plan today as low as $15 a month. Don't lose out on this opportunity. Start saving money by switching to Mint Mobile today. Thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. I want to say thank you to the Mod Squad for being here. As always, please show your love to the Mod Squad. Ultra, Shine Ass and Firestar Heart, Elias Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything. Highway dealing a danger. And of course, Big MGM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. Just like Dylan Danger took this troll off the map immediately. Now, we got some people in here who are giving me a hard time based off of how many people are watching me and how many subs I have. I am in a very, very privileged position to be at this spot in my YouTube career. 44,000. By the way, that is a milestone. We just hit 44,000 subscribers as of this past week. Once again, for every 1,000 we hit, I'm always going to come up here and show gratitude, because there are people here on YouTube who struggle to hit 1,000. And it feels like we hit a new milestone almost every month now. And so I'm grateful to all of you for continuing to support the channel and continuing to subscribe, watch the content, comment, debate. It makes me feel like I'm contributing enough to this community that we have. You guys see me as one of the big dogs, as A&B Combos would say. And I want to be sure that I give it all back to you. So, be sure you like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So, boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. And I see one of the trolls is talking about Donald Trump. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, I will not, and I mean this, I will not bring any politics to this wrestling channel anymore. I've done it before in the past where I've come up here and spoken about my political views, and I think for the sake of the wrestling channel, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. If you want my political views, follow me on Twitter, because I don't give a blind fuck about Elon Musk's trashy ass cesspool app. I don't give a damn. So I'll completely be open-minded and without remorse honest on Twitter about my political views. So if you care about that, follow me on Twitter. If you don't want to get my political views, avoid Twitter until after the election, and then just follow me afterwards, because I'll be clean and focused on wrestling after that. But until then, as always, you know, I want to keep it focused on what you guys are here for, wrestling. But there's that. Leave politics out of the live chat. Leave it out of the Discord. Leave it out of anything revolving this channel, because this is not a channel for politics. This is a channel for professional wrestling. Let me see here. Let me go and do some shout outs really quickly. First off, let me give the big love to the best reaction channel here in the YouTube space. Say hello to A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Thank you all so much for continuing to support them. I'm seeing a lot of you, a lot of my followers on their channel, which I very much appreciate. I very much appreciate that we're actually starting to form a community of wrestling fans, wrestling reactors coming together and supporting one another. Because when I come up, they come up. When they come up, I come up. So I'm seeing a lot of you over there. Please continue to support them, because I genuinely believe they are, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best reaction channels of professional wrestling here in the YouTube space. Alright, let's see who else is here. I see JJ, who let the dogs out? Who? JJ Bulldog. I see Darcy Shadem. I see Howard E. Martin. Howard E. Martin Jr. Welcome, sir. That's a new name. Love seeing new names in the live chat. This is a regular. Chris Wrestling Views. Good to have you here. And hold on for a minute. Now, you already know when royalty walks into the building, I gotta show them some love. Everybody, your super chat world champion is here. We got Debit Money. Debit Money Adams. Now, Debit Money Adams, unfortunately, will not be putting his championship on the line this Saturday. He has chosen to put the belt on the line at Survivor Series, which means all of you who want to take the belt get to use this time to save your money. Save it up and be ready to go to war. But do know, But do know, when you take on the money man, everybody's got a price. Good to have you here, Debit Adams. Debit Money Adams. T-Man. T-Man here from the world of A&B combos, by the way. Regulars, Janelle, Not JPEG, Joe Arredondo, Shadow Star, Joseph Winters, Josh Joseph, Rick Rosar. Let me scroll down a little bit. Don't want to say anybody's name twice. Robin Sucks. Let me see here. Orlando Sabio. Of course, well, it's not your goatness anymore. I think Lauren changed her name to Your Wiseness. Your Wiseness. And of course, the wise woman to 3 Diglets, the man 3 Diglets, Lauren Biggs is here. And of course, anytime I mention Lauren Biggs, there comes a caveat of mentioning the man. The caveat of mentioning the kiss-stealing, willing, Dylan, son of a gun. He got the gators, he's got the suit, and he's riding in style. Everybody show your love to the man. Because to be the man, woo, you gotta beat the man. 3 Diglets. I don't know if he's here or not, but every time you say his name, he always pops up. Just wanted to give him the shout outs. But yeah, definitely gotta watch out for 3 Diglets, because if he does show up, who knows what might happen. Alright, let's go ahead and move things along. Oh, look at this. Firestar Heart, I just checked to make sure I was subbed, so there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, our boys, Firestar Heart, one of the mods, has subscribed to A&B Convos. And you love to see it. Yes, please subscribe to A&B Convos, because they are literally, and I mean this, they are a great wrestling channel for reactions. I think they're underrated like a mofo. That's just me personally. But anyways, alright, let's go ahead and move things along. Super chats are open. Get them in while you can. So like I said, when it comes to Monday Night Raw tonight, it was, how do I say? I won't say it was filler, because there was some kind of storyline advancement when it comes to the Bloodline storyline. But everything else, spinning its wheels. Doesn't really feel like we went anywhere in terms of the other stories. But I liked tonight's episode more than I didn't like it. Ultimately, I came out going, yeah, it was fine. Would I go back and watch it? No. It was one of those shows where you can tell they're just, once again, waiting until we get past Crown Jewel to ramp things up. But there was enough done with it to where I was able to enjoy a majority of the 2 hours. I thought the first hour was decent. Second hour fell off pretty hard until the main event where Dom beat Damian Priest, which, by the way, love that. And then he got beat up by Damian Priest, which made me go, ugh. So, let's go ahead and break things down segment by segment. They opened up with, who better else to open up with than the main event, Jey Uso, who just reunited with his brother, his Us, Jimmy, and he comes out, big pop, big reaction, and then brings out Jimmy. This is what I love about this. So, one of my biggest issues from this past week, if you didn't see my SmackDown review, I wasn't live, by the way. I was at the political talk, but I was somewhere else other than here. But I said in my SmackDown review, this feels rushed. The reunion between Jimmy and Jey feels a little rushed because they still have a ton of issues they haven't quite worked out yet as of lately. And so I was kind of waiting on them to resolve those issues. Yeah, honestly, this was the beginning of that. I felt like immediately when Jimmy came out and Jey said, hold on for a minute. Don't think I didn't forget. Don't think I didn't forget about you giving me hell and us fighting at WrestleMania. I said, oh, all right. You know, Jey's letting him know, look, we cool and everything, but we gonna have to set some boundaries, sir. All right, first off, we ain't going back to what the bloodline used to be. Ain't no hand stepping, ain't no being abused by anybody, by Roman or Solo. If we a team, we a team. You got that, sir? Jimmy's like, yeah, I got that. And I like that Jey had to let Jimmy know that, look, it ain't gonna be like it used to be. It's gonna be different. And then Jimmy said, well, you still gotta talk to Roman, right? Now, Jey did tell him he was gonna talk to Roman until the Bloodline came out and attacked him. And while the Bloodline was attacking Jey and Jimmy, in my head I'm thinking, is this where Sami shows up? Didn't happen. The Usos just took out Solo's group by themselves. Again, I don't know, man. Like, we want Solo's bloodline to seem like a threat. Why is it that they just can't get the job done when it's 2-on-4 or anything? Like, every once in a while, they'll get the one up on Roman and Jey, or Roman and Jimmy, excuse me. But, I don't know. I haven't seen Solo's bloodline get that big victory. They've been missing that big win. And it feels like Roman has the upper hand most of the time on them. And I don't know how I feel about that. You want us to feel like Solo's bloodline is a big threat that requires Roman to reconcile with his cousins, reconcile with his old family, to beat him. Requires Roman to basically absolve himself and, reconcile all his evil deeds to get back what he lost. But they're kicking their asses anyways. Because I was in the stream with A and B when they were reacting to it, and me and B said the same thing, like, oh, they didn't even need Roman. Jimmy and Jey just took him out by themselves. All right. But that's just nitpicking. I'm nitpicking, but little things like that just kind of irritate me. They should be dominating these fools. Anyways, I like that we went backstage immediately. And Jey and Jimmy confront Sami. And Sami, without wasting a breath, Jey, let me talk to you. Why are you with him? Why'd you go back to him? I thought we were done with these assholes. You were able to move away from them and separate yourself from the bloodline and stand out on your own. Why would you go back to that? Here I am going, right, why would you go back to that? At this point in time. Because naturally speaking, this feels a little too fast. So I'm happy that Sami is addressing it. He's literally saying, yeah, don't you think it's a little too early that we're moving back to this? And then Jey responds, of course you don't understand what's going on. You're not family, Oos. Even I felt that one. I felt that insult. And I love that Sami sold it very well. He's like, damn, you have to say that. And I like that Jey, when he said it, he regretted it immediately. He's like, why did I say that? That was me. Later on in the show, you see Jey and Jimmy talking. And Jey feels bad that he told Sami, you're not family. And Jimmy's like, I mean, you're right. He's not Samoan. But then Jey said, well, when you left me, he was the only family I had, Oos. And then Jimmy, okay, you know what? Let me go talk to him. Which then led to what happened at the end of the show. We see Sami talking through Solo. Now, we see it through Jimmy and Jey's point of view. We don't hear Sami talking to Solo. We don't hear where he's talking about what he's doing. We just see it from a distance. But that's not a good look for Sami. Especially in the eyes of Jey and Jimmy, who are against Solo's bloodline. So you're seeing Sami talk to Solo, and you see Jimmy tell Jey, I told you, we the only family you got. I'm not going to lie, though, I love it. I love the fact that, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the potential of Sami joining Solo's bloodline makes all the sense in the world. Because let's get this straight. Roman was an absolute horrific, an absolute tyrannical asshole to Sami. So technically speaking, it makes the most sense for Sami, if he's going to get involved again, to want Solo to take down Roman, right? Because, technically speaking, Solo and Sami, other than Solo attacking Sami when Sami left the group, I'm just saying, like, it would kind of make sense that Sami would be like, well, I don't know how much of a tyrant you are. I haven't been working with you. But Roman, I know. And I don't trust Jey going back with Roman. So I'm interested. I'm curious to know what they're talking about. I can only speculate at this point. But yeah, Sami talking to Solo made me go, what? What's happening here? Now that's a twist I didn't see coming, but I like it. So clearly we see what's going on. We're getting ready to see OG Bloodline, Roman, Sami, and the Usos take on the new Bloodline. Jacob, the Gorillas of Destiny, ain't nobody realer than Gorilla, and Solo. That's going to be your main event for Survivor Series. And that's kind of why I won't say we're rushing this story, but you're seeing it play out on Raw and SmackDown on purpose. Because it's like, look, we got to get through what honestly should take months of storytelling. We're trying to get through it in weeks. And so we're going to need multiple shows. We're going to need Raw and SmackDown to make this work. Sure. I guess I'm fine with it as long as it's good storytelling. You can use Raw and SmackDown to speed things along. But hey, I'm cool with it. I'm enjoying it. I think the War Games match, when we get to it, is going to be fire. And like I said, even though we might get the reunion of OG Bloodline, I still don't think all their issues are going to be resolved anyways. And it shouldn't be. So, we'll see how it goes. That stuff with the Bloodline, Sami, was easily the best part of Raw. Everything else, I'm not going to sit here and say it was garbage, but it left a lot to be desired, if I'm being honest with you. So, they open up with the first match, which was, of course, Ludwig Kaiser. I'm going to miss Samantha. Wait, did I talk about Samantha Irving? I didn't. We'll end the podcast with that. But, Ludwig Kaiser took on Sheamus. It's a match we've seen before. It's revisiting the rivalry, and Sheamus beat him. They had a good match. It was fine. I'm assuming this is setting up Sheamus to be a potential opponent for GUNTHER. You'll never get me complaining about any of their matches. They have fantastic matches. They do this thing where Dominik Mysterio is backstage trying to figure out who he's fighting in the main event. Surprise, surprise! It's Damian Priest, former world champion. As soon as they said former world champ, I'm thinking Damian Priest, right? Oh, shocker. It was Damian Priest. And Dom's like, I think I can beat Damian Priest. And then Finn Balor's like, what makes you think you could beat him if I couldn't beat him? Don't you think you need our help? And Dom's like, no, let me see if I can do it. I want to prove that I'm world championship material. And then Finn Balor walked away. Uh-oh. Where's that going? If it's going to the Judgment Day breaking up, please. I would love that. That's where it needs to go. I think after this, we had Ivy Nile versus Zelina Vega. The match was fine. Look, I keep saying this. I love Zelina. I don't necessarily love the LWO. I somewhat enjoy seeing Ray and, of course, Dragon Lee tag, but LWO is beyond stale. It doesn't feel important. It hasn't felt important. I think Ray would work by himself. He would work better by himself. Maybe if you want to put him in a tag team with Dragon Lee, fine. But LWO is just kind of holding everybody back. I'm very happy that Ivy Nile beat Zelina. I feel like Chad Gable's American Made is much better in terms of storytelling. Feels a lot more important. But also, I'm actually very upset that the WWE moved away from Chad Gable as a focal point. When he was doing that feud with Sami Zayn and having those segments with Otis, that was easily one of the best parts of Raw. I feel like Chad Gable, Rhea, Liv, and Dom carried WWE Raw through the summer, through the spring, through SummerSlam, right? And I mean that. Chad Gable, to me, was one of the best parts of Raw since he turned heel. That's including his feud with Sami, and including the feud with Otis, and including the feud with the Wyatts. One of the best parts. They backed off on him. And I don't think I like that. They've cooled off on Chad Gable. And I think if they do get back to Chad getting focused, becoming a focal point, we have to finish up his feud with Otis first off. And I talked about this on, once again, A&B Convo's podcast. You guys are getting a big shout out. You're getting a lot of focus tonight. But yeah, I talked about this while watching the show with A&B Convos. I feel like Otis and Chad never got their blow off. It was just kind of a feud that had a lot of heat, and then it just ended. There was no true blow off between Chad and Otis. Could they go back to it? I'm seeing people say, well, maybe they're taking a break on purpose to then get back to it around WrestleMania. That's all fun and dandy. That's all good. But give me something to chew on in the meantime. Chad's just kind of floundering around. Apparently, he's going to be in the feud with Rey Mysterio. We'll talk about that later. But American Made versus the LWO? I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Y'all know that song. Y'all know that song, goddammit. She was here in Houston last week. Anyways, Ivy Nile beats Zelina with a very cool finisher, by the way. It was like a scoop slam into a flatliner? Or whatever, or Uranagi? Scoop slam into a Uranagi. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it looked pretty nice. Let me see here. I think Seth Rollins comes out after this and basically gets called out to the parking lot by Bronson Reed, and they brawl. The brawl was nice. They have great chemistry. They've had great chemistry. Seth Rollins hits a curb stomp on the hood of a car, and Bronson Reed gets up from it because he's basically Godzilla or King Kong, whichever one. And then Bronson Reed does a Death Valley Driver off a, what is it, truck? Some type of a truck through some tables and lays out Seth Rollins. So once again, building some heat for their match on Saturday. I think these two are going to have a great match in Saudi Arabia. I kind of wish this was getting pushed off to Survivor Series. We'll talk about this in my preview and predictions when I do it. If it was up to me, I would have Bronson Reed beat Seth. I mean, why wouldn't you have Bronson Reed beat Seth? Am I an asshole for wanting that? I would have Bronson beat Seth, then do the second match at Survivor Series and have Seth win that one. But yeah, like, for real, this feud is good. It's great. But like I've been saying, everything just seems to be spinning its wheels until we get past Crown Jewel. Now, let me see what else is coming up here. The stuff with Miz and the Final Testament and R-Truth. Speaking of Otis, I did see R-Truth talking to Alpha Academy. Again, like, can we get back to Otis and Chad? Anyways, Miz meets up with R-Truth. R-Truth and him pretend to reconcile. They shake hands, they go do their pose, and then R-Truth turns around and BAM! BAM! Cocks Miz in the face! And then says, you gon' die! Because the Wyatts are coming after him. We see Miz later on complaining to Adam Pearce about, where is security? Why did you let that happen to me? And then Miz is saying, you gotta protect me from the Final Testament, from the Wyatts, and from R-Truth. And then Final Testament walks in. And Karrion Kross tells him, so, you're stuck with us. You're gonna help us in this feud with the Wyatt Six. Now, and I love this. He was straight. He just straight up bullied Miz with the way he said it. He said, you are going to find out why Bo Dallas is coming after me, or I break your legs. And Miz, being a smart man, said, I'm gonna go work that out. I'm gonna go solve the mystery, if you will. So it looks like we're doing Miz and Final Testament against the Wyatt Six, which makes sense because, yeah, like, the Wyatt Six has 5 members, and Final Testament only has 4, so you need a 5th, which is going to be The Miz. Sounds good to me. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the feud, are you? And of course, you're going to be wrapping R-Truth in with that as well. They did the 3-way tag to determine the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. That's against Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Latino World Order, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio. New Day, Kofi and Xavier. And of course, the War Raiders. This match was slow. Not necessarily bad. It was decent, but very slow. I prefer the fast-paced action we got with MCMG on SmackDown. That's just my style of tag team wrestling. I think it should be fast-paced by default. But it was fine. The right people won, but they did a lot in this match. So first off, the stuff with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, again, that's one of the best parts of Raw right now, the slow dissension of the New Day. You saw Kofi had the victory. He, once again, had the win. And instead of going for the double team, Xavier Woods got obsessed with Rey Mysterio and tried to attack Rey Mysterio and blew the New Day's chances of winning, essentially. And that's going to play into their storyline. During the match, Rey Mysterio tries to go for a 619, and Chad Gable interferes, drags him outside, and hooks a ankle lock, and grapevines the leg Kurt Angle style, which I love. Which allowed the War Raiders to get the pinfall on Kofi Kingston. I think, right? Was it Kofi Kingston or was it Dragon Lee? I think it was Kofi Kingston. I said it right the first time. And they won with the heart attack. A modified version of the heart attack. So there you go. Your winners are War Raiders.
Combine Miz and Final Testament. Final Testa Miz.
It's alright. It's an alright name. But yeah, I'm cool with Miz being with this storyline involving Final Testament and the White Sith because it gives 5-on-5. And we'll definitely see how that plays out. And that apparently will be the Survivor Series match. Team Final Testament versus Team Wyatts. Sweet! I'm all for that. Let me see here. Yeah. War Raiders taking on freaking JD McDonough and Finn Balor for the tag team titles. Yeah, let's get those belts off of Judgment Day. Put it on a real tag team. War Raiders. I'm cool with it. I think when we get back to Survivor Series and that build up, this tag team division will start to ramp up a little bit. I think the only thing left to talk about was the main event, right? Did I cover everything? Holy crap, I did. That was really good. So, before I get to Samantha, we'll spend the rest of the podcast talking about Samantha. Dominik Mysterio pins Damian Priest in the main event. Cool. So it feels like we're doing that storyline where Dom is that guy who people don't want to see win, who's going to keep getting these victories, whether it's by accident or, you know, he finds ways to slip in and wins, and he's going to start getting some attention, a lot more attention to be a main event player. Cool. I've been said that Dom needs to win a championship. Now, should it be the World Championship? I don't know about that. That IC title, though, will look very good around Don's waist. I don't see him beating Bron Breakker. Maybe he should. But if this is the start of a singles push for Dominik Mysterio, trust me when I say this, it's going to be the best thing that happens on Raw. Once you start giving Dom these cheat victories where he's finding ways to cheat or he's finding ways to win when he shouldn't be winning, oh my god, his heat's going to go all the way up. And now that he's pinned Damian Priest, Finn Balor has a reason to be mad at him or be jealous of him, which means he could take over Judgment Day and just take the group in a new direction altogether. So if they had just had Dom beat Damian Priest and end it there, I would have been cool with that. I'd be like, you know what? That's a good way to end it. They ended it as always. They had Damian Priest beat up Judgment Day and choke slam South of Heaven Dominik Mysterio like 2-3 times. And then the show ends with Damian Priest standing tall above Judgment Day, which is an ending we've seen so many times in the last few months. Like I said, I'm just over the Judgment Day storyline. I'm over the feud. I'm over Rhea versus Liv. I'm over Damian versus any part of the Judgment Day. I just kind of feel like we're spinning our wheels, and I want to move on from it. So, there you go. Dom ends up winning. And that is Raw. So, before I get to the live chat, let's talk about Samantha Irvin. So, those of you who didn't see my review last week, we lost who I thought was one of the best announcers. Not just Raw announcers, but announcers, period, to ever do it in WWE, WWF history. I put Samantha right up there with Lillian Garcia, with Howard Finkel. She's a great in-ring announcer. Unfortunately, that was tainted because during her Twitter storm this past week? Because people were coming at her and Ricochet. After Samantha left, people started bullying, let's just call it like it is, cyberbullying Ricochet on Twitter, social media, blaming him for the reason why Samantha left. Because Samantha doesn't have a mind of her own, apparently. And so Samantha stepped out, finally, and defended Ricochet, saying, look, here's why I left. I don't like announcing. Yes, I could be good at something and also not like it. She wanted to be a manager. She wanted to do something different. And WWE thought, no, this is what you're good at. You're great at announcing. Why would you want to do something different? What else do you want to do? Samantha felt, if you can't find anything else for me to do outside of announcing, then I'm wasting my time. And that's why she left. Now that sucks. Because at first, honestly, when Samantha left to pursue other ventures like go be a singer or perhaps even join Ricochet in AEW, there was a side of me that was like, I'm pretty sure whatever the reason is, they're ending it on, mutual respect, no issues, and they still are. But it was for a reason outside of, I don't like what I'm doing. I thought it was, okay, I want to go pursue something bigger. I'm getting more opportunities to be a singer, start my own music career, or, let me go join my fiance in AEW. That's what I thought. That was reasonable. But now that I'm reading the story and I'm realizing that she left because she was just unhappy with what she did, that's depressing. Because she was really good at announcing. Really good. And it taints how I view her as an announcer now, knowing that when she's doing it, she's not liking it. Now, she's happy she got the opportunity. That still doesn't mean I'll be able to see her in that same light now. And I see people blaming WWE for not negotiating with her. If I'm being honest with you, if I'm WWE, I wouldn't know what to do with Samantha outside of announcing either. What do you do with her? Okay, so fine, Samantha's not an announcer. Now what? Now what? What do you do? Alright, you want to be a manager. Who is she going to manage? If Ricochet was still here, maybe. But even then, if Ricochet stayed, I'd be like, Ricochet's manager? Really? I don't know about that. He could use a mouthpiece, though. But, okay, Samantha's a manager. Who? Who would you manage? Rhea? Nah. Damian? Nah. Okay, well, if not manager, maybe she wrestles. Samantha came into WWE to be a wrestler. Didn't work out for her. They had her doing announcing as a one-time thing. She was so good at it that they hired her full-time. Okay, I don't know how good Samantha is as a wrestler. And you're going to be a wrestler. Explain to me how far she's going to go as an in-ring talent. Even if she is halfway decent. This roster's too stacked. Yeah, it was just not going to work out for her. It wasn't, unfortunately, a good position. And WWE, if I'm WWE, yeah, like if you don't want to be an announcer, then sorry, we don't have anything else for you. It's just business disagreements, which happens. It happens all the time. Not everybody's going to work out in WWE. Not everybody's going to work out in AEW. So we'll see. Maybe Samantha will end up in AEW, and maybe in AEW she'll be able to manage Ricochet. And then make money doing it, making more money doing it. That does suck, though. Like, y'all see where I'm coming from, right? You see that you have someone who at one point in time, and I still consider her to be one of the best announcers in WWE, but at one point in time was part of almost every ounce of memorable moment when the WWE had Cody won at WrestleMania, her crying, trying to get his name out of her mouth, announcing his name, made that moment even more special. The way she was able to make talent like Chelsea Green and Ludwig Kaiser, she really made these guys feel important. And no disrespect to Lillian Garcia, Lillian's great, but Samantha was special as an announcer. And I miss that. And it's sad that I most likely won't get that back, now knowing she doesn't like it. And that's not on WWE. It's not on Samantha. Samantha doesn't like it. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't need to do it. And WWE shouldn't be blamed for putting her in a role she was clearly good at. So I don't know. You give me your thoughts. You give me your thoughts on Samantha and how you feel about the situation. I'm just curious to know where your head's at. All right, let me go ahead and move on to the live chat. Live chat, give me your thoughts on Raw. Give me your thoughts on Samantha Irvin. Of course, grades, 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest, and then whatever you want to say. So you have the floor now. And be combos. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let me see what you guys said. She might, but keep in mind, Dasha Fuentes also made the move from the WWE to AEW, and now not. Samantha really made what she did special, and if she goes to AEW, I would hate for it to not work out. Well, unfortunately, with Tony Khan in charge, that is a very high chance. There's a very high chance that it won't work out. And what do you do? Rachel S., the way she was so surprised when Damian cashed in the Money in the Bank contract is legendary. Yeah, she really sold those moments, man. She really sold those moments. Chances of Dasha Fuentes returning to WWE? Pretty high. Honestly, if she's done with AEW, by the way. Which I think she got released, right? Did she get released? Lauren Biggs is saying, be sure you show respect to my other client, the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Chat champion of the world, Jebbitt Adams. Well, no offense, Lauren Biggs. Debit Money Adams, I wouldn't compare him to Brock Lesnar. No offense to Debit Money Adams. He's the champ for a reason. See, Debit Money Adams is more 1%ish, high society. He's got class. He's got style. He's got finesse. You can't just compare him to that kooky old Brock Lesnar. He's the $1 million man. He's the money man. And when you talk about the money man, everybody's got a price. You love to see it. But if you're going to represent him, you can represent him however you want. All right, give me your grades. How are we feeling about tonight's Raw? King Tyler, nobody can't announce superstars like Samantha, and I don't blame her if she didn't want to do it anymore. Like, what do you do? She doesn't want to do it? Then all right. Damn, that sucks. Lauren Biggs, your wiseness. I will be fully invested in Dom when he adapts his Poppy Eddie Guerrero's personality. So go all in, have him wear Eddie's attire, boots, entrance music, everything. Oh, lie, cheat, and steal? Like Eddie used to do? Why not? When is Kurt Angle joining American Made? I hope so very soon. I hope they make that happen. They better. I hate that Samantha Irvin is not in the company anymore. No more Ludwig Kaiser or Chelsea. You know what? Yeah, that's pretty much gone. Not JPEG. LWO nostalgia is probably wearing thin. It wore thin already, sir. I'm over it. The final Testament. Alright, Eddie Lamb music. I see what you tried to do. Don't know how I feel about that though. Wesley Franklin. Did Sami Zayn try to fix things to Solo with the same motives he's trying to do with WWE Jey in a good way? Well, whatever motives he has, we'll see it come to light very soon. A&B Combo's first hour of Raw hit, but then it fell off. We're giving Raw a 6.5 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10. Ooh, who has a 6.5 out of 10? Was that B? B really didn't like the show. Wow. This isn't WWE related, but thoughts on Big Justice siding with AEW. Who's Big Justice? Who's Big Justice? Should I know who that is? Should I look him up? Or look him up? I have no idea what that is. I'll pretend to. No, for real, who is that? Let's see. Dylan Danger 7 out of 10. Joseph Winter 6 out of 10. Shadow Star gave it a B+. Wow. Rachel S gave it a B. Not JPay gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Father Man says, I missed Kayla Braxton. Yeah, Kayla leaving sucked too. That one sucked as well. I really liked Kayla as a backstage interviewer, but she wants to go be a movie star. Okay. I ain't hating on her, but Right Hand Can gave it an 8 out of 10. Okay, so the range is 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's about where I kind of felt Raw was, honestly. Like, mid to about solid range. I would give it a C+, which in my book is like a 7. 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5, if I'm being generous. Let me see here. Let me see what else y'all talking about. How I feel about Chad Gable starting a feud with Rey Mysterio. Let's see how it goes. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens from it. I would rather we get back to Chad and Otis, honestly, but we could be holding that off until WrestleMania, so. Chad should start a feud with Bron Breakker for the IC title. Ooh. You ain't said nothing but a word, sir. What happened to CM Punk and Drew? Well, after their Hell in a Cell match, they're clearly taking a break. As they should be. Yeah, who is Big Justice? I don't know who that is. Should I know who that is? For real. Can you see Britt Baker joining WWE in the future? If Tony Khan don't pay her that money, then yeah. Yeah. Because Britt knows she'll be a bigger star in WWE than she is now. YouTube member Xavier Jackson. Samantha said her choice would have been Zoe Stark. And she admits she's not a wrestler. Zoe Stark? See, this is one of those instances where, I'm sorry, and I love her. If I'm WWE, I would be like, you're better off as an announcer, trust me. Why would you want Zoe Stark? The pure fusion cringe? Really? You want to manage them? Samantha? This is why sometimes even the wrestlers shouldn't be given creative freedom. Sorry, I love Samantha, but no. No. If Ricochet was still in the company, that would be the only person I can see her managing. Zoe Stark! Alright, I think that's gonna do it. I'm burnt out. Samantha saying she wants to manage Zoe Stark in the PFC fried chicken. I'm not doing it. So there you go, that's my thoughts on Raw. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get out of here. As you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, for, politics. It'll be over next Tuesday, but follow me on Twitter at your own peril. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course the Discord. Give us a follow on the Discord. And donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. So this week, Wednesday, Dynamite. Friday, preview and predictions for Crown Jewel, as well as the SmackDown review. And then Saturday, by the way, special time, Saturday afternoon will be my review of Crown Jewel. I think I might do a vertical live. Not too sure if I'm going to do an actual live or not, but we'll figure that out. But after we get done with Crown Jewel, it's full speed ahead to Survivor Series. So can't wait for that. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Thank y'all so much for making me a part of your day. And I guess I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. You guys take it easy, and I'm out. Peace.
When you're